Hey there. I'm just making a quick video reply to one of the comments that I've gotten on one of my videos about the sectioning to my dreadlocks and how I did them. And I figured it was much easier instead of just typing everything out to just show you and explain here. Sorry I look like shit. I wasn't expecting to make a video, but I saw it and I figured what the hell. um, anyway, what was it? You're just asking for like an explanation and tips, I guess. Because I can part my hair down the middle, but if you move this row here, you can move these four dreadlocks to the side, you can part it in that way. Or if you do the same thing on the other side, you can part it the other way. And 4 or 5. And you have that type, which is how I would typically wear it, is on this side. But lately, I've been keeping it in the middle. I don't do anything to my hair except change the part occasionally, because I'm lazy. For the rest of my hair, though, like the sectioning, basically how I start is the nape of the neck. Uh, I would start smaller, but not too small. You don't want them to be very, very thin, because then it's easier for them to break off. If you start at the bottom, then as you work your way up, you'll figure it out, like about how much you need to get the size that you want. Keep in mind that they usually shorten and expand, like they'll expand to the size of the section about, well, a little bit less, but approximately, about that size. So I have, like, this dread here, well, the section is a little bit bigger than, the size of that. So keep that in mind when doing them. Don't go overboard and take a huge clump of hair. Like, a 1 inch by 1 inch section will make quite a big dread, if you ask me. Like, some of them I have, like, are larger, but I don't think I have one that's like a 1 inch section. I did before with the previous set, which is why I was very careful with these. I knew exactly how to do it after messing up twice before. And I don't know, I had trial and error, and this is what I get from fucking up a lot. Like, I learned. So, anyway, like the sectioning, you start at the bottom, brick lay pattern, I guess. But always, like, I would do one row at a time. Like, don't go overboard and section the whole head. Like, just, go easy with it. I would recommend anyway. I did mine over the course of a month. Before, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna be quick about it. Just get out of the way. This time, I took my time and I rested a lot, because it is hard. Like, doing all of this to yourself. The back of the head, the top, when your arms are like this, and you think that your shoulders are just gonna like detach from the rest of your body, and your arms are gonna fall off. It gets bad, but it's worth it just to take your time. Um, when I was doing my dreads, like, I'm very OCD about this. Like I said, I wanted it to where I can part it however I want, in case I changed my mind. But also, like, down the middle and the back, I have a completely straight line. So I did the brick lay pattern, but I basically did it like this side, and then I did this side, but like there's nothing going in between the sections. That way, if I wanted to wear like pigtails and have my hair up all like that, I would have a straight line down the center. And because before, when I had dreads, it was terrible in the back. I hated the way it looked. So I was very particular this time not to fuck that up again. Um, So after you get, like, up to about here, I guess, the bottom of the crown of your head is where you're gonna want to start. And then around. So I have all of this. Oops, and open that side. So I have about this right here that I sectioned separately. What I did was where it went around like this weird bowl cut type thing. Like you start in the center and you figure out how many rows you can get, like how can you graph it out basically while also doing the brick lay pattern. Like I might have to just draw a diagram because I don't know that I can show with my hair. I just made them a zigzag going down, but also to where I could split them. Make sure you have an idea of where you want the part to be, and then make the size of your dreads depending on that. So obviously if you want like a part that's all the way over here, you might want to have like an extra row in between the center part and the side part, if you understand what I'm saying. I feel like I'm not getting this across right, but I tried. um, there was other questions, but I'll put that in a separate little segment. So apparently I've already answered all of his questions pretty much. So I am going to add in something a little bit extra. Well, it was brought up, he asked about suggestions for the size of the sections for the dreads to get. Apparently they like about the size of mine, which I would prefer something around this or maybe even a little bit smaller. I've always wanted large dreads, like very thick, but in the past when I had thicker dreads, and even with some of the thicker ones that I have now, I noticed that, I mean, I really enjoy them. I love the size, but the weight tends to be a bit much for me. I have a bad spine and I have a bad neck from scoliosis, and I was also in a couple car wrecks. That didn't help any. So, uh, I do have trouble with the weight, especially if they're wet. So do keep in mind that when choosing how big to make your dreads, you're going to want to keep them clean, I would assume. Maybe you don't plan on washing them, but I personally do, and so I keep it in mind, you know. If I have them too thick, they're going to hold water a lot more. They're going to weigh like a lot heavier because they'll retain so much. It's also going to be hard to get soap in and cleanse them and then get soap out. So, like, you don't want to have anything, like, stuck in them, like, they like that. I'm sorry. Just to make sure that they're the healthiest, try and keep that in mind when picking out the size, because they'll tighten more, and it's just going to get a little bit harder over time. With bigger dreads, also, there's I would say a higher chance of getting mold in them, which is, I wouldn't say common, but it's likely. If you don't keep them dry, they will they will eventually mold. And I don't know how to get rid of that personally. Like, I went through the whole lice thing with dreadlocks, and that really wasn't too terrible. Like, it was easy to get rid of. You just soak your head in alcohol and, like, rubbing alcohol for a long time, and do it every few days until it's gone. Like, it pretty much kills them the first time. If not, then the second you're good. That's besides the point. With the dreads, though, the size just really depends on what you're able to handle physically, and while also keeping them clean. If that's what you're choosing, is to have clean dreadlocks, which I recommend. Using Dr. Bronner's, a lot of dreadheads I talked to before I even got my own dreadlocks said that Dr. Bronner's was what they used, and I personally enjoy the peppermint. If you guys end up getting it, it's really good. It smells wonderful. Add it to my bath water too, and soak my dreads in there. But I guess that's it. But yeah, clean dreads will lock up quicker, by the way. I've realized that 'cause before I didn't wash them. Like with my earlier set, I only washed them every like couple of months. I did a deep clean. Now I wash them in my showers, like when I bathe. Uh, Sometimes I use bubble bath, which I'll keep them out of the bath if I'm using that. But if I'm just sitting in there soaking to get clean, add Dr. Bronner's to the water, and then I soak my dreads in that. And then the alcohol soak I also do just because I know it gets shit clean. So that's nice. I guess that's it though. If there's anything else that I missed, just let me know and I'll try to comment it, but if it's too elaborate or if I'm lazy, I'll just make y'all a video again. So, happy belated Halloween and have a good day.